Hi friends, welcome to part one of my 4-part video series, my adult coloring book bucket list of books I intend to complete in the next 5 years. I have combed through my 400 something coloring books, chosen 50 books that I vow and desire to complete the entire books of, and decided I'm going to do it in 5 years, which is roughly 10 books per year. And I'm not only going to keep track, write out everything, I am going to make a plan. So what I devised is that if the average book has 40 pages, some a little less, some a little more, that would be about, to get 10 books done in a month, that would be about 30 to 33 pages a month, which is basically I have to do 1 page a day. Now, since some books I already have some pages colored in, some books have less than 40, I can probably get away with doing about 27 pictures per month, which is most of the time what I do anyway. A lot of the time, though, I do Etsy printables. So I'm going to show you the first 12 books out of my 50 that I've chosen and tell you why, and show them to you. And the reason I'm doing this is because I have so many coloring books that I have never completed an entire coloring book. You know, I flop around, I like variety, I do printables, I do Patreon, and really I don't have anything to show to like pick up this book and show people, you know, especially after 7-8 years of coloring and advanced skills, to say, hey, this is my skill now, or hey, look, I completed this whole book. And I'd love to have a stack of books, my best coloring books that I've done my highest quality work in, to show completed and keep and have for the future and down the road, and to show people in 30 years from now, etc., etc. So it's kind of, I want to challenge my skills, and so that's why I did that. And I did have a particular criteria for choosing which books. And the criteria included, they have to be books where I like, I'd say 95% or more of the pages. Like some books you look through, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'd really want to color this, that, but I like these. So there might be 10, 15 pages in a book you don't want to color. You just buy the book because there's maybe half a dozen or less that you want to color. So I have to be willing and like almost all the artwork to want to color it. I have to like how the artwork looks to look at it when it's not colored. I have to feel a sense of joy and happiness, like I enjoy the art and I love it and I'm excited to color. I want it to be a little bit challenging, and I wanted a variety. I wanted some hardback international books, I wanted some spiral bound books, I wanted some soft back books, and I wanted a few Deborah Muller books to complete the whole books of. So I had this kind of criteria list of which books I would choose and how, and I wanted it to be books that I was going to put my best effort into, you know, and a lot of the hardbacks, I didn't want to use my alcohol markers to where they bleed through, so I'll use only pencil. So that's kind of how I chose my books. So let's get started, and I'm going to show you the books I chose. This is the first one. I've always loved this book. I believe this is called, I'm not sure. I am going to link below all these books. I've always loved it. It's something like, I don't think it's the Colors Make Me Happy book. Something about happiness book. I don't know. I don't even know if it's Korean or what, but I got it on Etsy a couple years ago. Love it. I've only done like a page or two, but I really love girly girl books, fairy tale, fantasy, whimsical, things that are pretty, earth tones, fantasy. And so that was another one of my criteria, is to be in the categories of what I love. So and I wanted books that had really good paper. It doesn't matter if they're single or double-sided. This one is single-sided, but I just love it. It's a very happy book. The paper is kind of cream colored. It's kind of thick. It's good paper. I likely will not use any mediums that bleed through. And that was another one of my criteria is, you know, I don't, like okay, maybe I did complete like 3/4 of a book or two early on with all alcohol marker. And when you flip through now, it's just the back of each page is just covered with more alcohol marker, and you can't even tell if it's a coloring page or not. So I didn't want my really, really nice books to be saturated with alcohol marker, although alcohol markers are my favorite. But I do have a few that I'm willing to use alcohol marker on my bucket list. This one I would use pencil or water-based mediums, but isn't it adorable? It's just like happy. I love every picture in it. Got Mary Poppins. It's girly. There's like Enchanted Forest stuff, Russian dolls. In my bucket list criteria, I also have a few Halloween books, a few Christmas books. This is one that I did do alcohol marker before I decided to use this on a bucket list. And you see what I mean? Like, I don't want the whole book, when I look through it, when it's completed, to have, you know, be gunked up on the backs. I don't even think I completed that picture. But yeah, so I have a few Deborah Muller, a few Halloween, a few Christmas, a few Creative Haven, a little bit of everything in my bucket list books. Beauty and the Beast window. Or was this one something about fairy tales? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up the title. Fairy tales, something or other. But either way, I absolutely love it. Like in this book, there's not one picture I don't like. Like maybe I wouldn't color sewing thread and needles, but I like the flower, so I would still do it. But like you know, I had to love every page that I saw as I flipped through to choose that for my bucket list goal. Otherwise, I knew I wouldn't complete it or I wouldn't stick with it. This is another early one I did. Rapunzel. I adore this book so much. And of course, this 5-year bucket list of 50 books is hard because there could be more fantastic books that come out in the next 5 years that I might want to complete all of instead. So I may end up swapping one or the other, or I'll make that for my second 5-year bucket list. Snow White's Cottage. Some ways you can test your mediums in the back. But yeah, I love this book. So I'm very excited for this to be one of my fully complete books. This is an Etsy International book. Okay. Another one of my criteria is to pick some books that were going to be extremely challenging to me. And this is why I chose Dreamweaver by Tomislav Tomic. I have never colored a Tomislav Tomic. I've always loved the look of the artwork and been intimidated by it. So yeah, I chose this one. I could swear I have another Tomislav Tomic book, but I couldn't find it. And I feel like there's two. So I don't know, but this is the one I chose. And this one is double-sided, so I don't even know if I can get this all in the camera, but it has the fantasy, the fairy tale elements, the challenge, even a little kind of Zen doodly look to it. And it's normally I would steer clear from these kind of books, even though I love the art, because there's so many details, and if I don't want to use alcohol marker, it takes forever. So that's gonna be a challenge. Alexa, cancel. Like, there's so many little tiny leaves and things in here. It would take forever to do that with pencil. Love this underwater mermaid world. Look at these details. That would take me a long time. So can I do it in 5 years? Maybe. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna balance out each month and each year, some complicated and some easy books. I'm not gonna save all the complicated ones to the end, obviously. Now, with that in mind, I do probably color about 4 hours a day, 2 in the morning and 2 at night. So it really depends when you want to set your own bucket list on your availability, or your realistic time, you know, so you have to put into your coloring. I love this medieval castle. This book is incredible. It's amazing. I just wish I could use my alcohol markers. I do have a lot of fine liners, which would work well in this book, which I think, and you know, that was another one of my criteria, is to choose books that are going to challenge me to use a lot of my mediums I don't normally use, because I have so many unused mediums. Fine liners and pencil sets I've never used, and brush markers I've never used other than to demo. Like, you know, we get into our ruts, our habits, we like what we like. So the goal of doing this is to challenge myself and really show some completion, a product for all my years of effort, something to show for it, and to learn and challenge myself as I go. This is gorgeous. This whole book is absolutely amazing. It's like I really wanted, I love the knight. Oh my God, the knight, the medieval knight, the Lancelot and Guinevere thing. I'm almost afraid because the artwork is so incredible. I don't know if I can do it justice because this is like an advanced coloring book. I'm probably more the intermediate level still after 7 years. Going on 8 years. But yeah, so this book, can you imagine if this book is entirely complete, how it would look? This book itself, you know, if I did, if there's 40 pages, if I did, you know, 8 pages a year, I could get that done in 5 years. But yeah, that's Dreamweaver by Tomislav Tomic. Absolutely gorgeous. Here's another one. I'm very excited to be one of my choices. Another Etsy International Overseas book. Not entirely sure the name. Had it for a long time. It's gorgeous. I've never colored in it. I love it to death. A lot of the books I chose are overseas books because of the quality of the paper being thick. You know, there's so much better paper in some of the European and the coloring books we get from Asia. But this one is gorgeous. It is double-sided, and it's fantasy fairy tale, mermaid, and it's one of my favorite things are fantasies and fairy tales, and it's gorgeous. And I love how some of the background is black. I will go to my order history and link all these books from my purchase histories on Etsy when I publish these videos. And I'm not intending to do one book at a time because I have to have variety. I cannot do like 40 pages of one book straight through. I have to have, I think the most I can do is what I've been doing lately is about 4 to 5 pictures in the book at a time. When I'm kind of on a roll in one book and I love it so much, I'll hop from one page to the next. By about 4, I'm ready to move on to a different book. So for what I'm coloring in June so far, yeah, I already did that. I did 5 pages in Deborah Muller's New Menagerie. Several pages in Fairytopia. Alice in Wonderland. Isn't this book amazing? And very thick paper. Lots of black backgrounds. Absolutely love it to pieces. Some of these books are so pretty. I don't even want to color in it. You just like to look at the artwork, but I am going to. I really haven't seen a page I wouldn't like to color, to be honest, which is, again, one of my criteria for choosing. This might be one of my top 5 favorite coloring books that I own, which is why I haven't colored in it because I like the art so much. So I'm very excited about this book, and I will link this below. See what it looks like when it's done. All right, another Etsy book I vowed to do the entire book of would be this one by Yoshi Kondo. It's Romantic Princess, another girly fairy tale, fantasy, whimsical book that I'm in love with. It gives you some coloring tips, but it is, again, double-sided. So I get that in the camera. Some black background, some white, thick, kind of light cream paper. Love it. Cinderella Ballroom. Different phases of Cinderella. Jewels. More Cinderella. Oh yeah, so there's Snow Queen. There's several pages from each fairy tale, and I love the Snow Queen. It's my favorite actual written fairy tale. Hans Christian Andersen. Snowflakes. This is the Little Mermaid. Some amazing pages here. I might do her this one first because I love Ariel. Arabian Nights. I do plan on releasing, see, I'll release this one on Wednesday, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'll list the next 2 videos. This is the Nutcracker. I love the Nutcracker. And then the next Wednesday, the final video. And I love the mandala style of this Nutcracker. Swan Lake. Love that one too. Love these snow globes. Oh my God, I love this book. For someone who's like addicted to coloring, it's your favorite thing in the whole world. You just know when you see the books, you get the books, you're like, ooh, ah, love, 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 love all these pictures. And you get so excited just to want to color them. That's how you know that's a book to choose for your bucket list. This is Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. Yeah, so that is this amazing book, which I cannot wait to color in. All right, I did have to choose one Rita Berman book, so I chose Europa. I have her Asia, I do not have her Africa, and I have her winter one. I don't have any others, and I've never colored in one, to be honest. But I've always loved this book since I saw it. I love Europe. I've been all through Europe. I'm going to flick back to front. You've probably seen this. I went to Europe with my older son when he was 9 in the year 2000, right at the turn of the millennium. We did a 3-week tour. We went to 9 countries. It was incredible. We actually got pickpocketed in Venice and everything, just like a traditional tourist would, although we caught the lady. It was an old lady, so too bad for her. But they are really smart. I love this. I love everything about this book. Amsterdam, Paris. Where else did we go? Bruges, been there. London, Germany. We went to Cologne, Munich, and Rothenburg, which is my favorite medieval walled town. In France, we went to Paris and St. Paul de Vence, which is my other favorite medieval walled town up on a hill. I was actually not that impressed with Paris whatsoever. I couldn't wait to get out of there, to be honest. Where else did we go? Germany. Oh, Austria. I went to Salzburg and Vienna. Amazing. Switzerland. I went to Lucerne, which was beautiful. Where else did we go? Oh my gosh, it's been 24 years. Germany, Austria, Switzerland. Oh, Italy, Florence, Rome, and Venice. I got completely lost and separated from my group in Venice because the group of like 20 people, like the tour guide made it jump onto a city bus. The buses barely come to a stop, and there's like 3 doors in 3 different spots, and people just bum rush it. And the guy just jumped on with everybody, and I was like, what's going on? And like even my son got on, and I hadn't gotten on yet, and it took off without me because it was just too crowded. Oh, this is Cologne. Cologne is in Germany. That's Köln in German, and Cologne is incredible. Cologne, you can see the cathedral from at least 30 or 40 miles before you even driving into the city, because it's so big. You can see it for like a half an hour as you're getting closer and closer to the city. It's the most incredible structure I've ever seen in my life. It blows my mind that anybody could have built those kind of things, which we wouldn't be able to do today. So I'm very excited to color this whole Europa book by Rita Berman. It's whimsical, it's fun, and it reminds me of my trip, and I love it. And I'm babbling. Okay, that's cool. No problem. Here's a few more Etsy books. I chose Modern Girl because I wanted at least 1 or 2 fashion books. This is another overseas book with amazing thick paper, and this one has, you know, some coloring techniques at the beginning, but I love this because it has different looks from different time periods. You have the ability to kind of replicate what's done or do your own. I kind of like to do both. Sometimes I'll do my own, sometimes I'll replicate. But I just love the different fashions, the simplicity of this. I love the 1920s, I love the 40s, the 50s, the Lucy era, the Victorian era, the Gregorian era. I just love it. Love, love, love. History, like shows and fashion and antiques, historical romance, all that. I might not even do backgrounds. I might just color just the wardrobe so that the characters really kind of pop out, which will also save me time. Love it. This book, I love this one. Love how that's done here too. Yeah, I'll probably do my own version because if I try to replicate it, I won't be happy with it, and I'll compare myself and I'll be like, oh, I failed, or oh, it's not as good. I love this though, the colors. Yeah. And I'll probably use my pan pastel skin tones because it's a lot easier to cover a lot of skin than like pencil and stuff. So So I'm just going to go through this kind of quick. This is a great book. I absolutely love it. Modern Girl, which I will link that below. All right. I had to choose one Disney book. This is an international book, probably Japanese or Korean, I don't know. I have a lot of Disney books from like Etsy and Amazon Japan. I looked through them all. This is the one I liked the most of all pictures compared to the others. Some I like just some. And some of the Disney books are done all like really small, like Zen doodle type, and I don't like that. But I like the Disney map. And this one is supposed to be Mickey and Minnie kind of on a little trip. Love Alice. Winnie the Pooh. I've not broken the spine on these, you can tell, so I'm trying not to until I color in them. Well, I guess I could, since I'm going to color them anyway. Speaking of Winnie the Pooh, I have sitting right next to me my Winnie the Pooh handbag, Dooney and Bourke. I'll show you at the end here. It's pink. Love this. Peter Pan. Love flowers. Love Cinderella. Love Sleeping Beauty. Love Snow White. So this has like my favorites, you know, the Disney princesses. And love stained glass, and the paper is so thick. Love this paper. This is a really good book. Aristocats. See all the hearts? It's so big, it's an A4 size. I can't even get it all the way in my camera. Speaking of Venice, there's Mickey and Minnie in Venice. Venezia. All right. Winnie the Pooh again. Fireworks. Bambi. Dumbo. Mickey and Minnie in Japan. That looks like Mulan. Aladdin. So every original like Disney character I like from the older, you know, classics is in this book. Lion King. So Little Mermaid. Love these spreads. Absolutely adore them. Lilo and Stitch. Love. That's my son's favorite, and he's 27. Still his favorite. Okay, so that is my beautiful Disney book I absolutely love. And if you want to see my Dooney and Bourke bag, if you can see it here. Let's see if I can't really see it, but see, Dooney and Bourke. There it is. Winnie the Pooh. All leather. Absolutely love it. They have them on Etsy. eBay, because they're no longer available. But you can go to eBay and put in Dooney and Bourke, Winnie the Pooh, and there's a few different types of that bag. Each one has a little different pattern. All right. I'm a huge Disney fan. Speaking of Disney, Alice in Wonderland. This isn't technically a Disney book. And obviously Alice in Wonderland isn't Disney. Alice in Wonderland was a novel by Lewis Carroll that Disney adapted. But this is by Fabiana Atanasio, and I have all of her books. And I wanted to do at least one of her books in an entirety. So I chose Alice in Wonderland because it has the most pictures that I like. So let's take a look. Yeah, like I have the Pinocchio and the Beauty and the Beast, and there's some pictures in those that I wouldn't color, but this one had them, like, I don't want to color keys, but I could do 2 or 3 pictures I don't love if I love at least 95% of them. So her work is just amazing. And in you guys watching this video series, you're really seeing some of my best coloring books, my highest quality coloring books, because I really didn't choose any cheapy ones or Amazon ones, other than a few like Deborah Muller ones, because I love the art in it. So, and a couple Creative Haven ones, which we know doesn't have great paper. Had to get a Teresa Goodrich book or 2 in there, Christmas one and one other. This is a good book, and I love it. Yeah. Can you just imagine what all these books are going to look like when they're done? If I could actually pull off this 5-year goal. All right, we have 4 left here. Another Amazon book. This is one of the Forest Girls books. There are several. There's a hardback. There's 2 other paperback versions. This is one of my favorites. I don't know if this is the first, but it's the one I like the absolute best. And it's thick paper. It's beautiful. I'm going to go back to front and just flip. And it's one of those ones where you can kind of copy the picture if you want. But I love it because in each picture she's doing something different. Here she's underwater, she's painting, she's in a little glass jar. I love this book. I almost wanted to do the premium edition hardback of this Forest Girl, but the pictures were different, and I do like these pictures more. It just reminds me when I was a kid, doing fun little girl things when you don't have miserable adult problems and surgery's gone wrong like I have and health issues. I'm currently, last week I was talking about in one of my videos, I was not doing well. I had a miserable infection in one of my implants, side effect to my mastectomy I had, double mastectomy in March. So I had to go to emergency surgery last week and have them remove it. The whole area was like red and it hurt, it was itching, it was burning. It was awful. Tried the antibiotics for a week, didn't work because you can't get into that little closed pocket where the implant is. So they had to take it out, had to clean out the infection, and now I'm flat chested on that side for 12 weeks while it heals until we go back in and put in a new implant and start all over again. So yay. I am feeling better though, obviously, but it's looking awfully flat on that side and I'm not enjoying it whatsoever. Okay. This is Joanna Basford's World of Wonders. I had to include at least one Joanna Basford book. Never colored in any of her books other than for some samples. I don't really like the Christmas one. It was kind of boring. This one I love the most because it's the most complicated and has the most pictures. And this is a US book. You can get it on Amazon, but it has the high quality paper of what some of the what some of the Amazon books have, Etsy books have. But yeah, and these ones are simple, but not simple like beginner, like intermediate simple. And I just know, and the stuff on here is like bigger, and I just know it's gonna look amazing. I'm excited about it. And I don't even necessarily know for my bucket list goal if I'm gonna commit to doing backgrounds in all these books. Some of them I might just do the little pieces. It's okay to leave white or cream colored backgrounds, is what I'm learning on that side. All right. Yeah. Regarding my mastectomy, the whole thing was entirely elective because I don't have breast cancer, but I have the BRCA gene, which is really high risk of getting cancer, and they were amazed I don't already have it. So I chose to do it willingly with implants. That was no big deal, that whole surgery and everything. Oh, I love this. This is gorgeous. Actually, the surgery was really easy. Like, it didn't really even have any pain because, they take your nerves when they take it, so you don't feel much. And then, they put in expanders, and they have to expand your skin over 8 weeks and grow your boobs to the size you want. And then once that's done, they'll exchange it for the implant. And right at the end, my expansion, everything was perfect, just out of the blue. Got an infection. They don't know why. They don't know where it came from. It's not even a very likely risk, and I got it. And it's a bummer. And now I have to start all over. I never planned on being flat on one side, so I'm not happy about that. And I can't wear prosthetics until this heals in like 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm like, I am not going anywhere because everything looks kind of mismatched right now. So I'm wearing like super baggy shirts 2 or 3 times too big. Anyway, I love this book. I think it's gorgeous. Of all her books, I feel this is the best. And I'd love to see this one completely done. My last 2. You might have seen this when I showed you what I colored in May for Mer Month, is Serons de Monde by Diane Dufour. I had to have at least one mermaid book in here, and I love this one. It's fun. It's mermaids around the world, so you get some kind of cultural differences. I have a few works in progress and one I did in here. I love this book, and it's available on Amazon. I'll link it below. Started this one with Color pencils. Did this one entirely with color pencils. All right. Yeah, and so that is my one mermaid book I chose to complete entirely because I love all of the pictures. The last one I chose is a romantic country series book. Out of all of them, the one I picked is the Travels one by Erie. I have such a bad history with romantic country, their first 3 originals, so I couldn't get myself to choose one of those. I was very much torn between this one and the fairy tale one, or the literature one, and I still might change my mind, but I think this one had the pictures I loved the most. And if I can get myself to do this book, I can rewire that terrible romantic country history I had when I started coloring in 2017, which romantic country 1 and 2 were the first coloring books I ever owned. And I didn't know how to color. I had the pictures I tried to do with pencil looked terrible. They were scratchy. I didn't know how to blend. My markers bled through. I didn't know the difference between alcohol and water-based markers. And it was so bad. The book looked so terrible that I threw it away. You know, the 7 to 10 pictures I did, and I never could get myself to color in it again. And I thought it was like the book or the paper, but it was me. You know, I didn't have the techniques. So I'm going to give this a shot. I love this book. And it's the most interesting to me. In this tea room, the most girly. So this is the end of part 1 of my adult coloring book bucket list, books I'm going to complete in 5 years. If you're new to this and this has been out a while, you can probably find link below parts 2, 3, and 4. If you're seeing this right when it comes out, you'll have to wait for my next parts to be released. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll link these books all below. Hope you enjoyed and talk to you soon.